Hi, Richard Moore from EightStepStartup here. I wanted to speak briefly about social media because it's increasingly a question I'm getting asked about. And in the year we're currently in, if you're watching this in the future, I'm recording this in 2015, social media is the be-all and end-all for most businesses when it comes to getting into a new market and of course letting people know that they're actually out there. One of my first businesses I did actually try just starting, and getting the thing going without much in the way of social media, and I really found it difficult. So this video is really in response to a question someone recently, in fact a bit earlier this morning, had asked me about social media. They basically said, look, I'm at the early stages of building my product, Richard, because there's so much to do with social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook and YouTube and things like that. Is there any way I can kind of not do quite as much? Perhaps I could save that till a bit later on. And essentially what they were saying, I think, was, is it possible to focus on my product and commercialize that, in the sense that I try and go to customers directly and leave the social media thing till a bit further down the line when I feel I've got a bit more time for it. Rather than just giving my point of view, I went to Alice Korngold, and she's someone I've been in touch with in the past. She's actually CEO of Korngold Consulting, but she's very famous for the work she does on sustainability, and she's worked with a lot of non-government organisations, does a lot of advising to leadership positions worldwide. She's been voted by numerous publications and groups for even including one of the local papers here, or rather the national paper here in the UK, The Guardian, as being one of the most influential people in Twitter in sustainability. And I think last year it might have been, it was I think Fast Company voted her in the top 30 most influential people on Twitter. So Alice Korngold is certainly something you should be checking out. So I asked her directly, I said, how do you respond to the idea that you might, as a startup, save the social media element to a bit later on and focus more on just building a product and trying to take it person to person or door to door and to reach out to customers directly. And she said she disagrees. She said, Richard, the thing is that if you work with social media, then you can build your product on what she calls an iterative basis. And what she's suggesting here is, as you engage with people and get feedback from forums, from groups, from one-to-ones with people, what you'll find is that it will improve your product as you're in that early embryonic build stage, simply because you're getting great feedback from them in terms of what really is going to work. So what she's suggesting is by using social media is essentially a way of getting to the front line and understanding directly from your customers or potential targets how they actually feel about your product or your proposition, and then taking it from there, you're able to be much more effective in your positioning. And of course, more importantly than that, not just only are you understanding a better way of building a product, but also she says that it's a great way of essentially grooming potential customers. It's a wonderful way, Twitter or certainly Facebook, to engage one-on-one with people and see if they're likely to buy and open up those early discussions. So especially people who do online products like me. I mean, I found with my content on YouTube, it's so many people seem to be caught by it, and as a result, I probably every day I wake up to dozens of messages of people, very kind words about them, but also asking questions and then going from there. So I've found with this particular course that through social media, I personally haven't needed to advertise or anything like that. People come to me for my services through the social media presence I have. So it's a resounding I disagree from Alice, and certainly I feel the same as well. And it leads me to that other thing that I've mentioned in the past. Robin Robin Terrell, who used to be the managing director here in the UK of Amazon. He said, Richard, the number one piece of advice I can give any startup owner is to know everything they possibly can about their customer. You know, do everything in your power to learn about them. And so if it includes social media, which he certainly believes it does, then you know, it's something you have to do. Don't shy away from it. For some, it is actually bigger than the, in terms of the energy and the work you put into social media, is actually bigger or greater than building the product itself, because your presence and your personality and your kind of celebrity status is what's going to leverage people to a position of interest in what you have to do. So I want to keep this simple and short. If for those of you thinking maybe I can save the whole social media thing till later and you know, do it when things start getting established, it doesn't really work that well. It's a bit more a case that you need to get your social media presence going first, and you can actually launch a product much more effectively later on based on what people are telling you. Common sense, right? But a lot of people aren't doing it. So hope that helps. That's Alice Korngold, CEO of Korngold Consulting, and of course Robin Terrell, one of my favourites, who currently now is sitting on the board at Tesco, the supermarket here in the UK. All the best. Speak to you soon.